Nothing beats a fresh cup of coffee. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, I want to talk to you about something that's been burning in my heart. It's something that I really feel this world needs to hear. We live in an age where technology has brought us an abundance of information, and it really drives me crazy to see just how many people in this world of abundant technology and abundant information that still cannot think for themselves. And sometimes these same very people, I was like this at one point, was we just take information that's given to us and we don't utilize the things that are at our fingertips to make us better, smarter, and much more advanced human beings. And so what I've started to do for a few years ago was to really make sure that especially on these hot topic issues, we see issues like COVID-19. We see a lot of the racism issues that are happening in this world. And when we see these things, we are usually painted, it's usually painted to us in a very one-sided way, depending on what side of the argument the person that's presenting it is presenting it. I don't know why I keep saying presenting, but it sounds kind of cool. So presenting it is. I don't understand why the people that are presenting it present it in this one way. Now, I see proof that people do not take the time to do their own research, because I look across my Facebook and my Instagram and I see people in arguments about different types of topics and people making unfactual conversations and unfactual statements about a particular issue that they should have just done their homework on and probably would have had a much more informed decision. Now, why is this relevant to me, this channel, and this video? Because in the effort to help all of us continue to be successful people, I think that being able to make good, clear decisions and have a clear, sound mind is based on you being able to think for yourself and to do your own research. So over the course of this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about 3 key things and why doing your own research is absolutely critical. Now, whether it's because you are starting your YouTube channel and you're trying to grow and you're trying to learn how to do that, it could be you're trying to deal with some finance issues and you want to understand your finances and how you can get better. Or maybe you just want to have a basic conversation with people about real sensitive issues and be able to do that in a very articulate fashion. And so based on those things, these key 3 areas are reasons why you should be doing your homework. All right, so as I said, there are 3 key reasons I want to focus on in this particular video as to why you should be doing your own research. Number 1 is because it helps you make very clear, sound decisions. I want to share an example of this with you, and I'll use this. This happened just yesterday. I was having a chat with my wife, and I was kind of running a bit of a social experiment with her. She didn't know that, but now she does. I was running a social experiment with my wife yesterday, and we were talking about an incident that happened recently in the United States. It's an Afro-Latino lieutenant from the U.S. Army that was pulled over by police and ended up being taken out of his vehicle at gunpoint. He was pepper sprayed, put into handcuffs, and as a lot would argue, completely mistreated. And so what I did was I had shown her probably what most of us and most of people in society would see are the 5-minute, 2-minute, 3-minute clips that you find on any news broadcast or just by searching things like YouTube. And when we looked at this version of the events, I was sitting back and I was watching my wife's face change different shapes as her emotion was being shown through her expressions on what she was seeing. And on the surface of it, you see this individual who was pulled over by police. They come out with their guns drawn. They have a lot of harsh words with him before he's pepper sprayed and eventually removed from his vehicle. And we had a conversation after we took a look at this incident, and I asked her what her thoughts were on it. And of course, she, like I assumed would happen, she was quite disgusted by this incident. She had a lot of very strong opinions, which rightfully so she did. and we talked about it. And as I asked her about what she saw and what she felt about it, she explained, and I wanted to quickly turn her over to the fact that there was a 30-minute video that I had already previously seen. And when I saw this 30-minute video, it gives a lot more perspective to the incident that happened. Now, one of the key things that we want to stress, or that I want to stress in this, is that it's not to say, and going back to this particular incident, this is not to suggest in any way, shape, or form that once you have the full context of a situation that you will change your opinion 100%. But the important thing is after we watched the 30-minute version and actually broke down each portion of the 30-minute version, after that, my wife's opinion of the matter had changed. Now, not drastically, not, she wasn't completely on the opposite side of her opinions, but the reality is that with the additional context of the situation, some of the things that originally had riled her up were subsided. And my suggestion is that I think in a lot of days now, when we look at the media and we look at things on the internet, we always see these snapshots. Now, I can't just blame the internet, but look at all the apps, look at social media, and look at all the ways that we absorb in information. And the way we absorb information is usually very short snippets in time. And many of us will formulate an opinion about the world, about an issue, about anything in that very short period of time. And it is not until you actually take the time to sit back, analyze the situation, and really make sure you understand it, can you actually make good, sound decision and opinion on that matter. Now, did her perspective completely change? No, like I said. But with the additional information, her tune had actually changed. So, first and foremost, I think we need to get back to doing our own research, because sometimes what is presented to us is not the full story. And I know that we may think that the full story only comes from the one side of the opinion that you normally like to hear, but that's not the case. Now, the second reason for you to do your own research is because it'll help you expand your knowledge. One of the best things that you can do for yourself is to expose yourself to opposing opinions and views. Sometimes we like to stick to what we know. And typically we think we're learning a lot because we keep researching the things that we already know, because it just reaffirms what we already know. But that is very very short-sighted, I should say. I had a course when I was in school, and so I was raised in a Christian household, and I had a course where I had to study another religion, and the one that I selected from the hat that we had to pick from was Islam. Now, I learned so much about the Islamic religion that I had no clue about, and no one had told me before. Now, it was good for me to go through this process and understand it, so that I can understand people that have a different faith structure, but also understand a lot of the beliefs and the systems that are within that religion. Now, did it change who I was? Did it change my upbringing? Did it make me want to change religions? No. And that's no disrespect to anyone of that faith. But my point being is that just because I took the time to learn and understand something else doesn't mean that it had to change who I was. I did it with open eyes, with open ears, with an open understanding. But at the end of the day, it made me that much more knowledgeable at something I had no clue about before. So you have to make sure that you take the time to really get to understand individuals in business, as you develop, as you're meeting new people, as you're developing your core structures and your core beliefs. Thinking outside the box, learning outside the box is going to be absolutely critical for you. Now, the third reason why it's important for you to do your research is because it will help you look at things without the emotion. As humans, we're very emotional. We think through a very emotional lens. And the thing is, our opinions are based on our feelings, our emotions about something. Our opinions aren't always fact. They're opinions after all. Now, proven facts are undeniable. I think we can all agree on that. That would be like, for example, if I was looking to move somewhere warm, I'm in Canada where we have 4 different seasons and it seems like it's always cold. If I got into a conversation with you about where the warmest place to live would be, I might probably tell you that it was Florida. Why? Well, because I've been to Miami a few times. I have family in Florida, and what else do all Canadians do but go to Florida? But fact is that Las Vegas is much warmer than it is in Florida. And so if we're talking here and I'm trying to convince you that Florida is warmer than Vegas, well, obviously I'm wrong. But that's me trying to formulate my opinion based on my emotional state, which is my connection to Florida or to Miami, when facts would tell me that Las Vegas is a much hotter place than Florida. Let me make this clear. Someone who doesn't do their research and tries to engage in intelligent conversations with individuals kind of reminds me of this.
Okay. Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future for our children.
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
Yeah, folks. So it's important that you take the time to do your own research so that when you have conversations, when you're trying to express yourself, you can do so articulately. Listen, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you have any comments or questions that you want me to answer, definitely put that in the comments below. And definitely if there's anything that you think is something or another reason why you should do your own research, please as well let me know. I'd be happy to hear about them. And I answer every single comment that goes down there. And again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, definitely hit the button somewhere here and do that. And definitely check out some of these videos I have here because I got a lot of good ones for you. Till next time, peace and love.